Okay. Hello and welcome to the first 2021 meeting of the Portland Modern Quilt Guild. My name is Chris Batten and I am the president for this year. Please mute your audio and make sure to turn off your video, and we now have closed captioning. We would like to thank our business sponsors before we get the meeting started. And while everybody's settling in, I would like to give a preview of what's coming up for PMQG programs. First up, we have Trisha Royal. She is going to be giving a presentation on February 11th. This is a week earlier than we normally have our meetings because of QuiltCon. She has a workshop entitled Raw Edge Applique Tour, where you can learn to create confetti fabric using your scraps. And this workshop is all about color play and resourcefulness. This workshop is on sale now on the website. Sandra Johnson will be joining us March 18th. She's offering 2 workshops, repurposing denim for a quilt and her bomber jacket. And in April, we will be hosting Tara Fawnin. She also will be presenting 2 workshops on color interaction, which is a class that I've taken with her, I'm really excited that we're able to offer this to the Guild because it's a great class, and the Diamond Log Cabin. So our membership has grown quite a bit this year. We have currently 252 members. That includes our 10 business members. We have 29 cities represented from Oregon, and our neighbors to the north, Washington, we have people joining us from 12 different cities. Since we've taken on this online format, we've been able to include members from California, Arizona, Illinois, New Jersey, Idaho, Washington, D.C., Georgia, Minnesota, Maine, and New York. We also have members joining us from Canada. So welcome, everybody.
So what's new for 2021? We got a couple of emails. I think people noticed that we did not have a raffle prize this month. We are going to be postponing raffle prizes for now until we can start meeting in person. So the intention of the raffle prize, the entire reason why we started doing them, was to raise money for scholarships. So you got a raffle ticket just for coming to the meeting. And if there was something that you really wanted, you could purchase additional raffle tickets for $1. And that money went into the scholarship program. We explored the possibilities of selling raffle tickets online, but it got kind of sticky as far as, now we have members from out of state. If they're buying tickets, how does that affect, gaming laws? Also Stripe. So when we run a credit card transaction, it takes a percentage of that money. So it really was not cost effective for us to offer raffle prizes. So procurement is still going on. We are still getting things donated to the Guild to share with all of you, but we are going to hold off until we can meet in person, and you will see some of those things in our future fundraisers that you will be able to bid on as well. I also wanted to say that this year we're going to be providing more support to our business members. So starting in February, we'll be hearing from a few of our business members every meeting. So maybe there's a new pattern to show, or there's a long armor that is offering a discount. We will be highlighting those in future meetings. New member mixers are coming back. I know that we have a lot of new members, and it is really hard to connect in this Zoom format. So in the past, we were able to meet in person just with a small group of new members, about like 10 or so. And so we're looking to bring these back. It'll be on Zoom for now, and it'll just be a small mixing of new members to kind of get you introduced to the Guild and what all the different programs are and what we have to offer. There's also a new members only section to the website. And I am going to give control over to Erin Case, our VP of Social Media and Technology, to preview and walk through how to access the members only section. So Erin?
Excellent. Hello, everybody. I'm going to remove your spotlight, Chris, and so people can see me. So we have featured the members only section here. So here is the website. It's been kind of redesigned a little bit. For those of you who aren't familiar with going through the website, you can see that this banner kind of rotates through all of the speakers that we have on the slate. And if you click on the banner as it goes through, it will take you to that instructors page that we have. So the main way to navigate through the website is to go to these 3 lines up in the upper right-hand corner. And then that will take you through all of the different tabs we have. If you see one here that has a plus sign, that means you can expand that. And then if you want to expand, say, a different one, so like right now I have the members only one open. If you click on another one, that will close the first ones. So you can only have one of those tabs open. And then if we click on the Zoom information, this is going to take you to the password page. And you can find this password on the back of your 2021 membership card. And so I am just typing it in. And I completely recommend that you use a password saver. So you can see like one has popped up here. So you can choose to save that password so you never have to remember it again. I completely recommend these things. And then on the page directly, you can see that there is a Zoom link for the January meeting. And if you scroll down, you can see that there's a Zoom link for the recurring meetings that we have. So like the small group Sunday, and then the quilter filter. And we also have the location information for the free table and the charity pickup and drop off day. And then all of the discounts that are available to members are also here as well. And those are all password protected. So those are only available to members. We got some feedback in the 2020 survey that some people were kind of sad that we were doing this. There are a few reasons that we've decided to establish this members only section of the website. One reason is that a lot of emails came in last year about people who either didn't get their link because maybe they unsubscribed from our newsletter, or maybe it went into their spam bin, or maybe it just got lost in the tubes of the internet, who knows? So we would get a lot of emails about this. And you can imagine that there's other things that the board does right before a meeting. And so this allows us to focus on preparing a great meeting for you and not to have to send emails with links. So it helps to decrease the workload, and it's also a way for you to choose the way that you participate. You don't just have to wait for emails. You can go grab the link off of the website, and then you can put it in your calendar. So all you have to do is pull it up. And then this is also going to decrease the amount of emails that we send to you as well. You're only going to get one once a week email from us. And I think it's typically going to be on a Monday, unless I get sick or something and I can't send it on a Monday. And that will have all of the activities that are coming up for the week. So when you sit down and you open up that Monday email, you can see that, okay, on Tuesday, there's this event happening. And so you could put that in your calendar and remind you of that. And then for all of those meetings that are available, if any of the small groups are using the Zoom and want to have the closed captioning, there's a couple of extra steps that I need to do to enable that. So if the leaders of those small groups would just send an email to the Guild email address, I can meet up with you virtually and get that all set up. And I think that is it for all I would like to say.
I had a few other slides for you for sharing your work on Instagram. Did you want to?
Oh, yes. Yes,
okay.
Please.
Let me.
I had forgotten about those.
That back up.
I'll see if there's any questions. I see lots of thank yous. You're welcome. This is all hopefully going to make everything easy for everybody. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to talk about was I would like to beef up our the quilts that we feature on Instagram. Right now, there's a lot of like reminders that are being posted, but I'd like I personally like to see quilts in progresses and fabric acquisitions and all of that kind of stuff. And so if you're okay with me reposting any of your content, that content belongs to you. I don't want to repost it without your permission. So from today on, if you tag your photo with PMQG, the hashtag PMQG, I will assume that that is okay for me to repost. And so works in progress, fabric acquisitions. If you see something really cool that inspires quilty content, feel free to tag that. Any photos that have been tagged hashtag PMQG before today, I will not repost without your permission. And then the last thing, so part of the live streaming, this is not anything that I personally have ever done. And I'm hoping that out of 150 of you that are here, that there might be somebody who's experienced with live streaming and can serve as just as a consultant for me to kind of talk through the techno stuff that we need to get and set up for doing these live streams. So if you have that technical knowledge, please help me out and send an email. That way we can connect and I can just send you some emails about the best way to do this. And that is it.
Thank you, Erin. Okay, so on to, this is a little bit of last year's business. So the Volunteer of the Year for 2020. So we really could not do everything we do without our volunteers. So in the past, we've had Volunteer of the Year, and we decided that it would be a great idea to offer our Volunteers of the Year a lifetime membership to PMQG. So you no longer have to pay your dues. Be on the lookout, a special membership card, once they get all made up, will be on its way to you. I'm not sure when they will be ready. I'll send an email. And I just wanted to highlight our previous Volunteers of the Year. Ann Matlack was our volunteer last year, or well, 2019, so 2 years ago. And Ann is basically our librarian. She founded the library, set it up, came to meetings, brought books, and we really appreciate her work on that. And in 2018, we honored Kath Hall. Kath runs our charity quilting program. And quite honestly, the things that Kath does with our charity quilts, it's truly, truly amazing. I mean, hundreds of quilts. I believe last year, which was a really strange year because we weren't able to get together to have charity sew days where everybody came in and worked on quilts, we were still able to donate over 100 quilts to Dornbecker Children's Hospital. So I think that that is really great. So this year, since we've only been doing Volunteer of the Year for 2 years, this is now the third, I thought it would be a great idea to have more than one Volunteer of the Year, kind of get us caught up a little bit. So with that being said, our first Volunteer of the Year that I would like to honor is Sam Hunter. So by the numbers, 800 plus panties in 2020, 1,083 in 2018, donated to Raphael House. And I believe there was a previous year where it was over 700. 40 plus hours of work on charity quilts as Kath's right-hand woman. I suspect this number is actually a gross understatement. I suspect that Sam does more work than that. When COVID hit our guild hard, Sam took care of us by reaching out to the board and suggesting a unique program with her in partnership with Christina Camilli, talking about their creative process. And I don't know about you, but that was one of the programs that I truly enjoyed. She continues to offer the board valuable advice. She emails us quite often, and we kind of joke, oh no, Sam's emailing us again. But her advice comes from her heart, and she really just wants us to maintain a level of professionalism. And for that, we truly appreciate, Sam. You are a valued asset to our guild. So you are our first Volunteer of the Year for 2020. Thank you, Sam. Okay, so our next volunteer
that we would like to honor is Kimberly Benefield. So Kimberly was president in 2018 and programs coordinator in 2019. She's our liaison with the Sisters Outdoor Quilt Show. She's driven 300 miles to deliver our quilts and then another 300 to pick them up and bring them back to us. So, and if she goes to the show herself, that's another 300 to go and see it when it's actually being displayed. So a lot of driving for us. She's our one of our DEI leaders, and she crafted our beautiful DEI statement of values. Other guilds are reaching out to us asking if they can use it as a template for them to write their own. So Kimberly, you are a true leader, and we are really lucky to have you as one of our own. So thank you, Kimberly. And finally, I would like to honor Susan Beal. So Susan, let's see, let's go by the numbers. So $2,600 to Project Lemonade and Rosehaven. $4,216 to Butterfly Boxes and Raphael House. These are the numbers, or the amounts of money that were raised in what I call Susan's baby, the fabric fundraiser. And we were so lucky to be able to have her helping us with it this year when we took it to Instagram. We couldn't have done it without her. Susan's also our guild historian. She was at the first PMQG meeting 10 years ago. Oh, well, actually, no, longer than that, 12 years ago, 11 years ago. She also works with the Girl Scouts and does all of this volunteer work while dealing with the challenges of distance learning. Susan, I admire your gift for philanthropy. PMQG is proud to have you as a member. So thank you, Susan. So with all of that, here's an excellent opportunity to volunteer for the Guild. And I realize that a lot of people are joining us from far away. And when the board next meets, we will brainstorm some ideas to possibly help get you some Charity Sew projects, and we'll try to figure that out. So Charity Sew drop off and pickup is happening. Kath is hosting again at her house. The address can be found in the members section of the website. It's on Saturday from 10 to 1. So please wear a mask, socially distance, and there should be quilts ready for quilting, quilts for binding, and wonky star blocks. And next, I would like to ask Lindsay Oldani to please unmute yourself. She is our 2021 Small Groups Coordinator, and she is also the host of the Free Table, and she will be talking about the Free Table.
Hey y'all, good evening. I just want to check in about Free Table, and first encourage everyone to come and bring a bucket, bring a box, bring a couple of those really big IKEA bags. Because when I say that I've literally never seen as much Free Table stuff, I think like 15 people have brought multiple bags over the course of the last couple of days. And previous to today, I had more than enough stuff to fill 2 70-gallon totes. So I don't know if you know what that means, but like, you know, those big black and yellow totes that you can get at Home Depot. The Guild has more than 2 of those worth of free fabric and free books that people have given so freely. So please come this weekend. And also after this weekend, I'm going to pare down. Yeah, bring a car with an empty trunk for real. After this weekend, I'm going to pare it down to 2 totes. And one of the main reasons for that is 1, it will keep my wife happy. And 2, I am hoping that we can find somebody on the west side to share this with. Maybe we can switch back and forth quarterly. I'll do whatever I can do to help support you. But I think that it would be really awesome if we could get this to somebody else. Beaverton's totally, I don't know if Hillsborough is west side. I'm not that good at this. Anyway, okay, great. Monica, lovely. See, there we go. I would love it if somebody else would host the free table and we can coordinate that because I think it would be wonderful to move it around. So, yeah, there we go. Also, small groups. I created a survey for everyone to send out, and it was in your last 2 most recent emails, correct? I believe, Chris. Yeah. Okay. And in that, I would really love it if you have a small group currently to fill it out. If you're interested in being in a small group, fill it out. If you're new to the guild, please fill it out. If you have ideas for a small group, fill it out. Anything. I'm asking if you want to be part of one. I'm asking how the guild can support your current small group. I'm asking how it's going. Just, I would really love that information because I really want to make sure that we can provide you whatever you need to make your small group experience better. I know that we heard from a lot of people that they want to do like slow stitching. I know that we heard from a lot of people last year that they are new to quilting. Like, let's make a group so everybody can connect. And in that same vein, there are 2 new small groups. The first new small group is the Block of the Month small group, which you will hear more about in a moment. But this is going to meet on the first Friday of every month, 7 p.m. So everybody that participates in Block of the Month for 2021, there'll be a whole group meeting together to talk about it and work on it together. And then the second group is a queer quilters group. We're going to start meeting on the 3rd Friday of every month at 7 p.m. And our first meeting will be next month in February, as with the other Block of the Month. And when we all get together, we can talk about if that's like the name of the group we want or whatever. But fill out the survey and maybe we can make another group for you and a bunch of folks that want to do the same thing that you do. So thanks, Chris.
Did you want to talk about Block of the Month?
Sure. Is Tara here too?
Yeah, I'm here.
Cool.
I'm here.
I'm so sorry I'm not on camera. This is ridiculous, but I have like the crazy bloodiest nose that it won't stop. I don't know how it happened winter, but I'm so sorry, y'all. Tara, I would love for you to talk, and then if you want me to share a little bit about this month, that's great too.
Sure. Yeah. So hopefully you guys have been able to, if you're interested in participating, you've been able to purchase the pattern. There's a coupon code that's available to you guys that I think has been sent out in emails. I think I remember seeing it. Also, I just want to say when you check out, if you purchase the pattern, make sure that you're inputting an email address. I have a couple people that have purchased the pattern and all I have for them is a phone number. And so I'm going to have to call them and say, can I get your email address, please? Because I need to be able to send you the rest of the pattern as the year progresses. So make sure you input an email address because that's the way I'm going to get the pattern to you as the year progresses. We will be very active on Instagram for the Block of the Month. If you're not on Instagram, that's okay. You can still participate. I will still be sending out an email each month with that month's portion, but also, a recap of what we've done so far and what the block means and all that stuff. But on Instagram, you'll find videos. You can be part of the Block of the Month group chat on there, and also you can post using hashtags. That was kind of explained a little bit earlier. The official hashtag for the guild is PMQGBOM 2021. So that's the official hashtag for specific to the guild, so that you can see your other guild members work that they've done and their progress and stuff like that. The hashtag that's associated just generally with this pattern is hashtag Mother Quilt. So you can follow that as well. And then Lindsay mentioned the small groups, first Friday of each month, 7 p.m. I will be joining you guys for that. So that's a really good place to show off your blocks, ask me questions. I will be with you guys there. And then lastly, I wanted to show off, so this was January's block. And so obviously the focus for this month's block was about health. I have two very special volunteers who are helping me because I'm not so good with words, and I know there are so many talented people that are in our guild. And so I have two volunteers that have helped me kind of put into words what these blocks could mean. So Lindsay is actually going to give a blurb about January's block, which is about health. And then Becky is going to give us a blurb for February's block. So let's do January's first. So I'll turn it back over to you, Lindsay.
Thanks, Tara. So when Tara approached me, I think as she did all of us last month, and asked if anybody wanted to talk about these blocks, I was really excited. Of course, this first one in January, I had so many things I wanted to say, because when we think of health, I think all of us this year have some really significant ways that this block feels really important and close to our hearts because of COVID. And I wanted to take it a step further. And immediately when Tara and I were talking, it struck me to think about all of the ways in which there are, special things that are special and dear to our heart. So to me, it got me thinking about my grandmother, and my grandmother passed of pancreatic cancer. And these plus symbols just really, to me, remind me of those ribbons that we all have, the Live Strong bracelet that's yellow, or like when we see that Red Cross, we're always thinking about donating blood, and my mother-in-law has a rare lung disease, and you could make it pink because that is the symbol of lamb. And for my wife, I really started thinking about health. And I think that we all know that domestic violence is a public health epidemic. So I made this block in purple to represent domestic violence, anti-domestic violence work. And I just think that everybody can take this block and turn it really into something that's like special for them and like dear to their own hearts to do that. And I think that you'll find that for the rest of the year, that is something that's really incredible about this quilt called Mother, is that we're all going to be able to make this really unique and personal and put our own heart and our own story into it. And I'm really excited and grateful for all of the hard work that Tara is putting into it. Because I know you're spending a lot of your time doing this for us. So thank you for that. And I'm just really excited to show off the block later to everybody because I think it's really beautiful. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Lindsay. Yeah, this one, when I was designing the quilt, this was the very first, the instant popped into my head, the very first image. Just because it is so prevalent and it's so strong. Okay, so February's block looks like this. So again, all 12 blocks are this teardrop shape, and just what's inside is what is unique and different. I'm not sure if you can see that. I don't know if I'm pinned or what, but it is a tree. And so this month's block I tried to make the blocks basic enough that, like Lindsay said, like you can tailor them. It's a very universal topic, and it can be tailored to whatever you are passionate about or whatever you see a very strong need for help in this world. So Becky, if you're willing, would you be willing to share some of the things that that you came up with that kind of coordinate with this, the idea of this block?
Yeah, absolutely. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
All right. Can I share my screen with you all? There. It might be a little bit easier to see. So when Tara sent me this, we are a house full of ecology-minded folks. And in fact, my youngest is studying, actually forget the name of the program, but it's like, you know, ecological studies down at University of Oregon right now. And so a lot of this stuff is near and dear to our hearts. So the kernel that Tara started with was deforestation. And, you know, when I start digging into that and thinking about the bigger picture, it's a pretty big picture, but it's all sort of intertwined. And having survived my first wildfire out here this past fall, summer, that was really interesting. Because we just moved here a year ago from Philadelphia area. So that was really shocking to me, even though I've been in California during some of the fires, but I've never lived anywhere with them. So it all just kind of goes together. I mean, deforestation is having a huge impact on climate change. Testing. Okay. Oh my goodness. Reduced rainfall is happening because of deforestation. We know that deforestation actually increases the likelihood of wildfire. And then we have the issues with wildfire suppression or fire suppression, and how some of the things that have been done in the federal forests have actually caused more problems than they've solved. I learned a lot more about policy and whatnot around fire prevention. And so this slide, and if you want, you guys can send it out or whatever, but this slide is embedded with a whole bunch of links. So if anybody wanted to read more, it's all in here. And then important, I think, to all of us as well, you know, what can we do? So, you know, just a few things here about what kinds of products that you can purchase to help reduce deforestation. I don't know if anybody's farming necessarily, but it is kind of interesting to read about sustainable farming concepts. And then there's a link there to wildfire policies. And, you know, if other folks on this meeting are active, like I'm sure you are, there's a lot to get involved in and get interested in. So I love this block just ended up encompassing, you know, so much that's important to our world and our survival. So there you go.
Thank you. And thank you, Tara, for sharing this block of the month with us. So I wanted to talk about the UFO Club. So we are taking signups right now. You can find the information on our website. Basically, you pay $10 for up to 10 UFOs you may have. And at the end of the year, you fill out your list of what you have or have not completed on your UFO list. And it will, half of the proceeds from the $10 will go to the prize winner based off of the, I'm sorry, I'm really not doing a good job of explaining this. It's like past my bedtime. So you get a raffle ticket for every UFO you complete. And at the end of the year, all of the raffle tickets go into one pot and a winner is pulled. Half of the money for the UFO signups will go to that winner, and the other half will go to our scholarship fund. The 46th annual Sisters Outdoor Quilt Show is coming up, and PMQG has a exhibit that will be in it. Our theme this year is renewal, and we are looking for quilts that are about 40 by 40 with a maximum of 102 inches on one side. So submissions are now open. You can submit to on our sister's site under the Get Involved tab. And the last day to submit is April 30th. And we are hoping that when you submit, in the past, we were able to accept just drawings, but Sisters is requesting for quilts to be done in early May, just in case they need to pivot to an online format. They would really like us to submit videos this next time, and they want us to be able to have time to submit those. So get quilting. I wanted to announce that the Fuller Craft Museum will be hosting a special exhibit titled Piecework 2020. They are currently looking for textile art and handcraft that's been made in response to Black Lives Matter events that have taken place since spring of 2020 and throughout the US presidential election cycle. So they're currently looking for artwork that they will jury into the show, and it's open to any textile handcraft and is not just limited to quilts. So if you're interested in submitting a piece, please email the Guild and we can pass along the information on how to submit. And is Tamara still here?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Great, yes, yes. So Tamara has an announcement of a special exhibit.
Hi, my name is Tamara King, and I was president of the Guild in 2017, which, as you may recall, was right after the last presidential election. And our board was looking for a theme for the Guild's 2018 special exhibit at the Sisters Outdoor Quilt Show, and Meredith Hobbs came to us with the idea of doing word quilts. We thought that was an excellent idea. Meredith did a great monthly program for us, and the wonderful quilts that our members created became our exhibit, Words Unbound, which has gone on to be shown in a few other venues, including being the featured show at Portland State University's Broadway Gallery in early 2019. Some of the quilts were also part of Lake Oswego Reads in 2019, and the Lake Oswego Library asked if they could feature the quilts again as part of their 2021 program when everybody is reading Cast by Isabel Wilkerson. You can see the portfolio of Words Unbound at the link at the bottom of this slide, and they may project the images outside the library during their all virtual events this February. Next slide, please. Also at that link, you can sign up for the talk the library has asked me to give, in which I will explore the ways women have used their handiwork over the years as a way to add their voices to the conversations that were being had or that they felt should have been being had. This talk is geared towards a non-quilter audience, and there will be lots of pictures of quilts. It's free, but you do need to register at the link. It won't be recorded or available afterwards, so you do have to catch it live. So I hope some of you can join me via Zoom on February 6th at 7 p.m. And you can check out the Words Unbound quilts on the Lake Oswego Reads website in the meantime. Does anyone have any question? Where's the link? Well, it's on the slide, but I suppose we can email it out maybe, or put it on the website.
It will go out in the meeting recap.
Okay.
Which I think will be going out early next week.
But if you do a search for Lake Oswego Reads, and then you just go on their events tab, you can find it there.
Thank you. So PMQG is now has some merch. We have holographic stickers that are on sale now on the website under the shop tab. And mine are, this is a really nice picture of them. I had them next to me and then I put them away. And they are $4, which will include shipping to the US and Canada. And proceeds for this will help to fund our scholarship program and also to help keep our costs of workshops down this year. And I will say numbers are limited on these. believe we only have 50, and if they are a popular item, we can reorder more. I believe there will be sort of a wait list that pops up once we sell out that you can add your email to, and we can alert you once we have more in the shop. And with that, I would like to start show and tell. And first up is Erin.
Hi, everybody. There's a couple of show and tells here for me, and then the rest of the people who submitted show and tells will be after. And for those who submitted pictures, I'm going to put a direct chat in the chat for you so you know when you'll be next, so you can be ready to unmute yourself. So this is the watercolor quilt that I made after I facilitated the watercolor quilt workshop in November. I was so amazed at all the beautiful colors that everybody picked, but I decided to go simple and just went with what the pattern suggested. So there is my finished, faced, all of that good stuff quilt. And then if you'll go to the next slide, please. So Curated Quilts has a mini quilt design challenge. I think it's about every quarter. And over the summer, they usually put a palette of colors and then a prompt. So over the summer, it was this sort of colors of pastels and this nice blue. And the prompt was plus, because they were having a plus issue. And so this is what I came up with and submitted. And I was lucky enough to have my mini quilt selected to be featured in the magazine. This is the first time anything like that has happened to me. Yeah, here is my curated quilts. And Roseanne, you are next.
Hello. My quilt comes up. So I belong to a small group of modern quilters, and we had a challenge of holidays or season, something like that. And my name's spelled wrong there. If we can correct that next time. So these are English paper pieced on a K facet and then on a gray background. And then the back I did in green shooting stars and did a facing. And this was also the same watercolor class that Erin took. I finished it finally, and that's it.
Kimberly.
Hello. So this is my 100 blocks, 100 days quilt that I did with the Guild. It was 2019. And what I think is really cool about this is this was a project introduced by our current president and quilted by our current president. So this was quilted, long-armed by Chris Batten. And typically a lot of my quilts, I like to do that one single huge spiral. Thank you, Jackie Gehring, for helping me to learn how to do that with the walking quilt or walking foot. But this one needed to be done on a long arm. This one needed to be done in time for, I was recently featured in AccuQuilt's Quilt Gallery. So I had a deadline. And so I had to reach out and find one of my favorite long arm quilters. And so I really love what she did here, which is like, it's like spirals kind of echoing throughout. All the fabrics here are Allison Glass, including the solids. The prints are all from her 2016 Sunprint collection. That's it. Thank you.
Hi, this is Tamara again. That's my quilt. We Need More Justices, which I made which I started during the confirmation of Amy Coney Barrett to the Supreme Court. And this is my plea to add more justices to the Supreme Court. It has the word justice 13 times, and I used 4 patches and the plus sign to signify add at least 4. But it also I would also like for it to stand just for all the justice that we need for all the people who deserve justice. That's that.
This is Anne. I didn't know I was going to actually talk about this. I'm a new member. I've been a member for a few weeks, I think. I've been crazy productive during pandemic. It's like all I do is sew and walk my dogs. And I love starting new things. I rarely finish them. This isn't actually quilted yet. This is just a top. It's just a crumb quilt. I followed a couple of people on Instagram that made crumb blocks that really intrigued me. So I started one night just thinking I was going to make a couple of blocks, and I just went crazy and just made block after block after block and really had fun with it, and then just put it together with some borders. That's it really. It's all K Facet Collective scraps from my pile. I've only been quilting about 4 or 5 years, so.
Hi, this is Corey Keller. And I had a productive beginning of the year, which is what happens when you give your long armor 4 tops at the very end of the year. So this is one of the 4 that Kazumi quilted for me, and it's all old cotton and steel as well as some of the newer Ruby Star, but it was the super fun mugs quilt along that I did at the end of last year. Thanks.
Hi, I hope you can hear me. This is Jennifer Ball, or Jen. This is the 100 Modern Quilt Box by Tula. All the prints are Tula. I started it in 2018 on Instagram, hosted by Gnome Angel. I think she's in Australia. And I finally finished the quilting like a week ago, and I took it down to Fort Stevens for a picture. The solids are Kona White and Kona Lighthouse. And yeah, it's just done. I'm glad.
Hi, this is Mona. This is a pattern by Jen Kingwell. She has 2 pattern in her pattern, but I only chose the one because it kind of looks like the coronavirus. So I started it end of 2019 and then all of 2020. So I chose the one pattern to repeat itself because, you know, with the virus, we're kind of all in it. So it's like everyone is the same. So actually the lower left block has the more evil looking fabrics in it with the spikes and the thorns fabric looking pattern. But I like the pattern, and a lot of the fabrics are from my stash. And it was quilted by Kazumi too. Thank you.
Hi, this is Alyssa here. So I was actually going to share this quilt a while ago, but once I heard that we were hosting Jackie this month, I decided to hold off for a bit and just share it here. So this started for me as a UFO quilt that my mom actually found that was left behind by my great grandmother. So it was in pretty rough shape, really long, narrow. So I did a lot of work to kind of square things up a bit. And then once I was physically ready to base this, it was still pretty wonky and totally not my personal style. So I was a bit at a roadblock with how the heck to finish it. But that was right about the same time that I bought Jackie's book, Walk. And so I took a huge leap of faith with trying out this curved kind of echoing in design. And it was great because I didn't have to align with any straight edges. And the back has a really tiny grid quilt on here, or pattern on the back. And I was happy not to have to align with that either. So pretty cool. And I've only been quilting for a couple years, but this turned out to be one of my most cherished finishes that I've done so far. So +1 to trying something new and totally different. I love the way that it turned out.
Is Sherry here? I didn't see her in the participant list. If not, I have her information pulled up and can let everybody know. Sherry? All right, then I will let you know what she submitted. This is Britt's baby quilt, and it is a Francisco window boxes pattern. And that is all she included in her show and tell submission.
Hi, this is Beth. I was gifted about 50 pairs of my sister's jeans. And this is the second quilt that I made using that. I have 2 quilts I'm showing tonight. It was inspired by a free quilt pattern, not really a free quilt pattern, but a pillow pattern by Jennifer Sampu. It's her sky quilt pillow, and you can find that online. I did resize some of the blocks to give it a little bit more interest. I backed it with scraps from the Pendleton Woolen Mill. So it is really heavy, it keeps me warm, and thus the name Gravity Blanket. And this is my second one. Made this one actually before the other one, but it's a pattern by Tara Glastonbury, Stitch and Yarn. And I used my brother-in-law's old jeans, and at the last minute, I rifled through our closet and stole one of my husband's pairs of jeans and photographed it down at the local quilt shop. Thank you.
Is Susan still available?
Yeah, I'm here. Hi. This is the first time I've shown a quilt and show and tell all year. And of course, it's the night where I've been crying for the last 15, 20 minutes. So sorry if I start crying again. I just want to take 1 second and thank the board so much for the incredible gift of the volunteer tribute. I knew about Kimberly and Sam, but this was a complete surprise. So it just means everything. And I can't imagine my life without our guild. So I just want to share how much that meant to me, and also that I was totally stunned by it. So this is a quilt that, speaking of like going way back, I made the blocks in Denise Schmick's PNCA workshops in 2009 and 2011. And I actually have my little sketchbook right here with the fabric scraps. And I just ended up about a year ago, right now, just in this flurry of inspiration, just going like, okay, I am going to finish some of these class pieces from like 10 years ago, from 3 years ago. And I made 4 quilt tops in about 2 weeks. And I brought them to Nancy Stovall of Just Quilting, and she quilted 3 of them for me in February of 2020. And then I put this one up on my living room wall, and I love seeing it because it's just one of those things where those blocks sat for like, gosh, I guess 8 and 6, 7 years respectively. So it's really a joy that I finally finished it. And I just really loved Denise Schmidt. I didn't want to exactly copy her. You know, her quilting is so distinctive. She does these loop to loop that's really beautiful. And so Nancy and I chose an orange peel that was repeating all over, but I decided to share it tonight because I'm kind of in this deja vu where it feels like the same time of year, although obviously now we're all in COVID, it's Girl Scout cookie season. So that's kind of my whole life at the moment. And it was just really a joy to finally get to bring it out and get to show you all and especially on a night that really starts a new year. So I'm hoping to be my quarantine, although I really admired everyone who said how productive they are. My quarantine has been about 4th grade. I am in distance learning with my son, and my older daughter is a little more independent, but I'm looking forward to more sewing time and more inspiration. And tonight was absolutely beautiful. So thank you all for sharing your quilts and for the block of the month and everything else awesome that PMPG is doing. It is really a highlight of my entire life. Thank you. Bye.
Is Gail Norby available?
I am. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I'm new to the Guild, and this is a project I worked on last year. It's a Juicy Juice pattern called North. I was trying to work with colors that I hadn't worked with before and do kind of a color wash. I'm not sure I'm thrilled with it, but it's finished and I learned a lot in the process. And my dear friend Sally Eagleman quilted it for me. She did a gorgeous custom quilt job. So thank you. That's it.
Okay, that's all we have for show and tell. I wanted to remind everybody that February's meeting is 1 week early on February 11th. Quilter Filter is canceled for February because that is the night that it would take place on, and we will have our guild meeting instead. Thank you to everybody who was able to attend, and we will keep the Zoom link open for anybody that would like to sit around and chat with your friends.